Hello, my name is Gray, pronouns are they, them. In today's video I wanted to use NaNoWriMo's NaNoPrep to prepare for my next writing project. So in that case I will be uploading this video in 2 parts. This video would be weeks 1, 2, and 3. Next video, which will come up in a few weeks, will be week 4, 5, and 6. And that would be according to the NaNoPrep on their website. I will link to their pages in the description. With that, I take no credit in this, besides my own story. I'm just using NaNoPrep. So in this segment I wanted to talk a little bit about my next project, which is not Project Rekindle this time. It is Project Takeback, and I'm not sure if I want to change the project title, but since it's already set in stone, it's Project Takeback. I worked on this last year's Nano, and then I stopped because I was not happy with the way the plot was turning out. It's one of those projects where I constantly changed it until I found something that works, and this time I've been really happy with the outline so far. Trigger warnings, busted situations, and serial killers. I'm not sure of the proper tags for that, I do apologize. If you're not into thrillers or horrors, then the story might not be for you, and it's okay that you can skip this. Being more character-driven, Takeback is narrated in third-person multiple and past tense, but more like present past. So it's not he had done this, but it's more he did this, if that makes sense. I still don't know how to write in present tense. That is still very difficult for me. It follows the characters' disclaimer. The pictures I'm going to post on the screen probably around here. I didn't draw them. They came from a game called Gacha Life. It's an app that you can get, it's free. And I create my characters in sort of first design sort of way. The characters will not look their ages. I apologize. I will put their ages close to them. Jaden, I guess you can call the serial killer. Pretty much, he is. It's difficult for me to call him that because he's not really organized. He's not really strategic, he just picks people up and that's it. Otto, the captive, that's pretty much who he is. He was the main character, and then I made it a multiple point of view and it worked. Vincent, the friend slash captive in a way to Jaden. And Charlie, the instigator. I am still having a difficult time describing the story, like what exactly happens. It's pretty much the 2 are captive, the other 2 are like not really organized, I don't know. Hopefully this works out because now it's starting to sound like a mess. But that is my project for November NaNoWriMo. I look forward to working on it. 50,000 words in 1 month. I got 1 month to work on the outline. So in the next segment I will be working with week 2. Welcome to NaNoPrep week 2. They have an exercise to creating complex and believable characters, and I don't know if I got that down right or not. Main characters, obviously I've already introduced them. That'd be Jaden, Vincent, Otto, and Charlie. I didn't want Charlie to be the main character, but I started focusing on his point of view a little more throughout the outline. I thought, well, might as well be, you know. He's a major part of the plot. I have 3 side characters. 3 side characters, 2 of them know Otto, 1 of them knows Charlie, and, oh yeah, another one, a 4th one, that would be Vincent's wife. Jaden doesn't really know a lot of people, besides Vincent. As I have said, if you've made it this far and haven't paid attention, this story is a thriller, and it relies on sort of a shock sort of thing. Because I don't want to hold myself back in my stories. I not going to censor myself. Doesn't mean I justify anything of my characters. These are all fictional. I'm here to provide sort of entertainment. I am not here to force anyone to read it. So if you're reading it and you get upset, it's on you. It's not on me. Who's the protagonist and who is the antagonist? When you're writing about a villain, that is the protagonist. The hero in a villain story is their antagonist. So in this case, I got very confused on how to figure that out, because they're all each other's antagonists. Disclaimer: I never give my characters labels unless they're in a romance story. This is not a romance story despite the romantic ties between a couple of characters. Now, not giving them labels mean I'm not going to share what their orientations are, what their gender identity is. I never ever share that in a thriller, suspense story about murder. That has no room in here. You are allowed to give headcanons or assume what the characters are, but I don't want to say what is real, what is not real to the plot, to the characters. I might give hints, might give really strong hints. I just never ever say, like, oh, this one is bi or this one is pan. I just didn't want to misrepresent something in the story, especially when I myself am agender, masculining, and gay. Another disclaimer: all names mentioned with the corresponding ages are entirely fictional, and they do not reflect people in real life, otherwise it would be purely coincidental. In real life, living or deceased. Jaden is 29 or 30 years old. He's male. He's calm and collected at times, but his unhealthy moments are more of impulse, no time for thinking rationally. He lives in isolation, away from people, but it doesn't mean he hates people. Safety comes first for him. Live far away from society. He works at a grocery store as a meat butcher. So I guess he works in the deli department cutting meat all day. Suits him pretty well. He loves knives, and that's typical. Kitchen knives, to be exact. Vincent is 36, 37. He's male. He is as calm as Jaden at times, but he's more serious, definitely very fatherly. His unhealthy moments are almost always constant, but he keeps it hidden. Those would be nightmares, stress, overprotectiveness for his wife and daughter, and especially when his wife is now pregnant with another child. He works in an office. I haven't really gone into much exploration in that. He really loves his family, by the way. So without Jaden, he would be a typical working man providing support for his growing family. Otto is 21, 22. He's male. He has problems with self-esteem, self-confidence. Jaden takes a liking to that and decides to keep him for a while. Not in this gross way. It's more like a genuine curious to why he seems so different than other people. He pretty much doesn't have a life. He doesn't have a job. His father doesn't support anything he does. He's not even his real dad. His girlfriend is very controlling, puts him down a lot. He carries on with life anyways, and that indicates how Otto is a lot stronger than he really thinks he is. And a funny fact is he loves horror movies, yet he finds himself in a horror movie situation. Charlie, the character I've had problems with in the past. I finally found a reason for him. I finally found a purpose for him. But he's a mess. For the sake of censorship, he's very flirtatious. Despite not wanting to hold back or censor myself, I have to censor Charlie for a bit. My characters are flawed and not perfect and should not be used to compare reality. This is all fiction. At first, Jaden didn't want anything to do with Charlie because he made him uncomfortable. Jaden goes out to bars and picks people up that he finds interesting. Normally he'd be the first person that approaches him because he has that aura where people will approach him. He's an approachable guy for some reason. Charlie starts talking to him at the bar and Jaden's like, I don't want anything to do with you because you're so annoying. That is kind of how the story begins. It actually begins with Otto getting kidnapped, but it really begins as a turning point when he decides to keep Charlie after kidnapping him. Charlie actually knew what was going on. He just kind of went with it because he's not really educated like that. He likes danger. Charlie likes danger a lot. There is a lot more to the characters. I'm hoping to get that down during the first draft. But otherwise, that was them. Is there anyone that sounds interesting? Or anyone that sounds like you'll never like? In the next segment, I will talk about constructing a detailed plot outline. That would be week 3 for NaNoPrep. Check out their website too. Next comes a detailed outline, in which at this point I have not finished writing yet. Next clip, me will tell you if I finished or not. Welcome to week 3 of Preptober. Prep Nano, or is it Preptober? I'm not sure. I recorded something earlier today and somehow it deleted. I think I might have deleted it on accident. Now, week 3 is about working with outlines, making sure you have a detailed plot for your story, for your NaNoWriMo project. I am a plotter. I've mentioned this on my channel before. I tried to pants, couldn't do it. I tried to plants, couldn't do it. So I write detailed chapters, summaries, what happens in order. Sometimes I will throw in some different scenes during the rough draft. I use Save the Cat beat sheet. I found some outline on Google Images. I don't have the book, so I'm not getting the full explanation of what these plot points really are. I'm just using it to map out, break into 2, or midpoint, or the bad guys close in. What I have in my outline so far is everything's filled out briefly. Not exactly full summaries just yet, besides the first part, the first 25% of the story. I was just having a difficult time doing... There's a train in the background. I was just having a difficult time doing the one chapter at a time sort of detailed summary. So after the 25% mark, I was like, let's just throw in the brief summaries in detail and then add on from there. And I've been working with that and it's doing pretty good. I'm still starting past 25%. That I think that would be break into 2. Yes, I'm in the fun and games part. Promise of the premise, I believe. I'm actually having some doubts with that one. I might not be confident enough in the promise of the premise, so I might have to throw in some scenes to remind people, or to actually give hints, or to keep up what is about to happen afterwards. Because all this fun and games part in a thriller sort of suspense story, where these characters are hostages, it's not all fun and games there. But there sort of is, in a way, between 2 characters that get along and the other 2 also get along, and then there's this getting along, and then there's this moment where they're like, okay, so now I need to protect you. I'm actually very excited for October, finally here. Weeks 4, 5, and 6, I will come out with that in a few more weeks, I think. If you made it this far into the video, thank you for watching. If you liked it, please like it. If you want to comment or say anything, feel free to do that. You can subscribe for more videos. I will be working on Project Rekindle, which is all I've spoken about if you missed it, throughout November. Hopefully I can get myself to do the 50,000 words. Until next time, have a good week.